About 2 days ago, I saw that on Big Think, Bill Nye had been asked a question by a philosophy undergrad student, and the undergrad asked, it basically said, is philosophy meaningless? Because Neil deGrasse Tyson and Stephen Hawking have dismissed philosophy as as not as important, not an important venture. And Bill Nye's answer really disappointed me. It was incredibly ignorant, and made me really, just like I said, it was really disappointing. I love Bill Nye. I think he's great. I love Neil deGrasse Tyson. Both, I think they're really good for the world, obviously. And I grew up watching Bill Nye and PBS. And basically, what happened was Bill Nye dismissed almost all philosophy as metaphysics. He was saying, if you drop a hammer on your foot, tell me you don't feel pain and stuff like that. And he said that philosophy doesn't take us to places, to any surprising places. He says that it's, a lot of the same old questions, and not a lot of good can come from philosophy. Um, so, why is philosophy important? I'm going to attack this in 3 ways. One is, first of all, I don't think Bill Nye knows exactly what philosophy is, or what philosophers do. So first thing, let's talk about what philosophy is. Philosophy is the study of problems, definitions, and reason. That's all it is. If you use reason, if you need to define something, or if you need, if you have any problems to solve, then philosophy is what's doing it. And stuff like, there's 5 main branches of philosophy. There's epistemology, which is the study of thought. There's metaphysics, which is like the reasons that metaphysics above physics. Metaphysics talks about like the nature of the world. Logic, obvious. Aesthetics, which is like beauty and art and stuff. And there's one more. Epistemology, aesthetics, logic. Oh, and ethics, of course. Ethics is a big one. And so that's way bigger than if you drop a hammer on your foot, whatever. And he dismissed all of philosophy on that. All of philosophers, all we do is talk about nonsense questions and things that are we could never answer. And he said, philosophy was created by humans, so in the end, you're not going to find anything because it's not some great meaning of truth. And that's not what philosophy is. Philosophy is study of problems, definitions, and using reason. It's basically like thought in motion, right? So, one, that's what philosophy is. Two, is how can people use philosophy? Okay, that's what it is, but how can we use it? Well, neuroscientists can take advantage of theory of mind studies and how we think about the way the consciousness works, and they have, because obviously that's tied into how the brain works. Ethics should be incredibly obvious how we use ethics, and I think basically politicians are philosophers of the job. They just kind of do what they think is right or wrong based in what is good for more people or what is not good for more people. And given the current election year, I think that we could use a little bit more philosophy in the White House and not Trump. And so philosophers are needed in neuroscience. They're needed in politics. They're needed if you're a teacher. If you don't have a philosophy of education, if you don't have a good understanding of how knowledge works and how people think about things and what people want and what people's identity, and philosophy talks about what drives people, and as a teacher, you need to know that. You need to know, you need to be able to discuss open things. You need to be able to generate discussion, and philosophy is love of wisdom and emotion and thought, how we go about thinking and reasoning, and that's what your whole purpose is as a teacher. And logic should be out. Computer science people can benefit a lot from a logic course, a philosophy of logic course. It helps immensely. I know because I've done both, and they help each other. You can't apply science is observation and collecting data, and then philosophy is okay, what can we do with the data? What does it mean? A lot of people think that it isn't, but everyday thought is philosophy. It's just basic stuff. So there's a million. I could go on forever, but almost everybody can use philosophy, and some people need it more than others. Oh, also, by the way, lawyers, judges, cops, um, like all of those people need ethics and reason. Anyone who creates art at all, anyone who creates any, like if you create film, if you write books, if you make video games, if you make anything, an understanding of aesthetics and where we come from, and as people where our appreciation of beauty comes from, blah, 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 that will always help you in that venture. Third thing is, okay, so maybe that's what philosophy is, and that's how we can use it, but why should I use it? I don't care. I'm not going to be a lawyer. I'm not a politician. I'm not a teacher. I don't see how philosophy benefits me in my whatever job I do. Think of it in the same way that, like, well, maybe you don't need rocket science level of calculations in math, but you need math, and you need, like, the greater grasp of math you have, the greater, just the easier your life is going to be. The same like reading. You don't need to memorize multiple books of literature, and you don't need to have this immense, expansive vocabulary that covers all. But the more things you can say, the better you can express yourself, and just better your life will be. And the better a citizen of the world you'll be, the more educated you are. Better. And philosophy is the same way. You don't need to answer the questions of, like, where is our consciousness, and you don't really need to understand a huge amount of I think therefore I am, because it's a little more complicated than just that. And you don't need to wonder, is this all an illusion? Are we all a brain? No. But if you've ever thought this decision is right or this decision is wrong, you're practicing philosophy. And if you ever think, if you ever judge a movie, you're doing philosophy, because, like, if you're like, this movie was bad, well, you have to have why it was bad. And then when you say this movie is bad, you're defining what a good movie is. And when you define what a good movie is, that's what philosophy. You're saying what something is. You're just going through the thought process. Discussion is philosophy. Dialogue is philosophy. And you use it every day. And just like how if you should need a cursory understanding of history to just make you a better citizen of the world, you should have a cursory understanding of philosophy. That doesn't mean you need to memorize all the dates and all the wars and everything. But it's immensely useful. So those are the three reasons why. Those are three reasons why I think philosophy is very important. And Bill Nye obviously has not spent a lot of time thinking about it, which is really sad. Anyway, so this is the first video I'm starting on my channel. This I'm establishing right now. My new channel is called Plus 10 Wisdom, and it's going to be a place where average Joes, regular nerds, can do philosophy, and we just talk about interesting things. And so first couple episodes are going to be stuff like, is paid DLC good for the gaming industry? Does the damsel in distress trope overplayed? Like, does it still have value aesthetically to the games we play? Is Street Fighter V the best fighting game ever? Is what makes a good fighting game? Like, why is this one better than that one? I like the ability to objectively say what games are bad and what games are good. Talk about movies, comics, games, shows, all that stuff. I'm just starting, so I'm going to try and up the production value every time. I don't have an intro or an outro yet, but I'm working on it. I'm doing that. And I got this new HD camera. I know it's not amazing, but it's better than what I had. I'm actually pretty excited to do stuff like this. And just that Bill Nye video prompted me to make this first, because maybe people don't understand a lot of what philosophy is. And it's actually very, very wide. There's a lot of things that fit into philosophy, and everyone, maybe you don't want to do metaphysics, but everyone should have a good stance and understanding of how their ethical view is. You should practice thought. I think we should all do that a little bit more. So help me out. If there's something you hate, comment it. If there's something you like, comment it. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. I need all the help I can get to start off. And like I said, it's a work in progress. So if there's anything you think I could be doing better, let me know. Okay? Until next time.